Hi YouTube friends, just chiming in real quick to show you this new guitar that I just got. I'm obliterating the emblem, so you don't know right away what it is, but to my surprise, I've never thought I'd get a guitar like this. I've been wanting a Butterscotch blonde Tele for the last year now, or maybe even 2 years. I've been researching the internet and saving up money, and I was hooked on buying the made in USA Fender Telecaster until I came across this baby here, which is a Squier. It's a Squier Classic 550 Tele, made in China, and let me tell you though, it's one of the best guitars I've ever seen or played. And YouTube guys who did reviews on this and demoed it, thank you so much for being honest, and it was consistent throughout all the demos that, you know, it was a great guitar for the price. This baby here was just $3.99. That's cheap in the grand scheme of things for guitars that are this good. Most of you know I never really go beyond $500 when I buy a guitar because I try to keep it real, but I try to buy good deals. I try to get used ones, but this one's brand new, and the people at Sweetwater where I bought it did a 55-point check on it before they shipped it, and I received it yesterday. However, the sign said not to open it, to let it acclimatize to the room temp here because it's winter and the wood may do funky things. So it's very hard to do when you get an instrument, but I kept to that, and I opened it today. I let it sit for 24 hours and I opened the box today. I literally went to work at 4:30 in the morning so I could come back early. So after testing this, I'm probably gonna go to bed because I'm pretty tired. But anyway, let me give you the specs. It's let me show it to you first. Have a general view there. There you go, Squier. Okay. 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 That's it. Okay. So again, it's a classic 5 Squier. It's a solid body, and it's the paint, they say, is a gloss polyester. I think they meant polyurethane. Gloss polyester doesn't sound polyester to me. Sounds more like a cloth. But anyway, I was surprised because most of the folks that reviewed this did say they were consistent in saying that it was lacquer based. I think it was when it first came out in 2012. It was a lot yellowish than this one, you know, and I think, and you could tell it was, the lacquer was thick, but this one is just right. I mean, the slide feel of it, when I slide my hands on it, it kind of feels like the same feeling I have with the my jazz box, which is the same type of paint. So that's good. It's made of pine, so that's something that's different. It's slightly heavier than my road-worn Tele. Most Telecasters are made now of alder, as you know, both Mexican and American, and in the 50s they used pine, so they wanted to be true to 50s guitars and made it a pine. The neck is a maple neck. It's got a C-shaped neck, which is slightly different from my road-worn. My road-worn's a little bit thicker. They call it the baseball bat. I love it, but I love this too. It's as thin as my Tallman Prestige, so I like this, you know. The radius is 9.5, so most of you know that the higher the number, the flatter, and a lot of people that lead like that flat 12, you know, 12 radius. This is 9.5, so I think it's a good compromise where you can do bars and you can lead. It comes with medium jumbo frets, which is a really nice feature because back in the 50s, frets were really skinny. So I'm glad they stuck the modern medium jumbo frets in here. The dots are black dots are probably plastic, you know. The nut is probably plastic too, although I haven't had any issues since I tuned it. You know, tuned it once. It came tuned, slightly out of tune for some, maybe due to delivery and movement. So I just retuned, and I haven't had to retune again. We'll see, you know, later. But those are it. It's a 25.5 length. So it's not a short scale. It's the average Telecaster length. And again, the knot is 1.625. I think it varies on different teles, but very, very close. I think they're consistent with this. They wanted it to be like whatever the 1950s were. So I'm still calling it a Fender, the Squier by Fender, but you know, give justice or credit where credit is due. We'll call it a Squier. They did a good job. The bridge is a vintage bridge. Okay, it's kind of like my Road Worn. My Road Worn came uncompensated, and I had to switch it out to Callahan's for compensated bridge. This came compensated already, so this is in brass, so no changing with this one. Okay, the tuners are vintage, like my Road Worn Tele. I like that, where you just insert the string in the hole, and it's a pain in the butt at first when you're not used to it, but once you get used to it, it's really a piece of cake, and actually quite nice to the eye because there's no string sticking out, and they stay tuned. At least that's so I'm hoping that just like my Road Worn, that I won't have to swap this out. They look pretty decent. You know, if you look at the back, it's got that classic, okay, and there you see it's made in China, and I like the way they put it. It said crafted in China, so they might have been a little bit more special handling when they made this, as they're calling it the top of the line of Squier guitars. You know, the neck pickup. Okay, most important, the neck and the bridge are both Alnico Custom V, is what they're calling it. Single coils, of course, and the let me see here. The volume and the tone. Oh my God, they're very sturdy. They're tight, but you can still roll it. But they're super tight. That one was loose, you know, but this is tight. You know, really, really tight. So the three-way selector is also fantastic. I thought I thought it would feel cheap. It does not. It's very sturdy. It's very exacting, you know, where you put it. So I'm really happy with that. And that's about it. The string size is not my favorite. It's 9 to 42. I don't like 9s, you know, I like 10s, and especially for jazz, the heavier the better, although I'm not going to go heavy on this, because one of the reasons I wanted another one was I wanted to keep it at 10 at most, but let me show you how some of this sound. Okay, we're going to, let me put the camera down here, so, okay, and maybe move my chair a little bit here. Okay, what you're hearing is the guitar through a Champion 40 amp. And I try to keep this part as clean as possible. I only added a little bit of delay. And I'm going to go through the neck, the mid, and of course the bridge, and try to be as consistent as I can so you can hear the difference. And then we're going to go a little bit dirty for you guys that like distortion. I'm not a big distortion rock player guy, but I'll try my best to make it sound like that. That's about it. So I've got it all up now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tone down just a little bit, not too much, about 25% down, because the strings are really skinny and they may sound more like banjo sounding. So if we're going to play jazz, you know, we want it down a little bit. So this just gives you a little bit flair of the jazzy. that's a little bit of the jazz sound there. So I'm going to roll it back up. My volume is rolled all the way up, a little bit, back a little bit, tone all the way up, back a little bit, and we'll just go through the sounds of this. I'm going to leave it at the neck now and just try to play a consistent thing so you can tell the difference. That was the neck, and this is the middle. And this is now the bridge. Okay, and maybe we can get away with something like that usually sounds good on the bridge, right? Okay, now we're going to do a little noodling here, back to the neck. And then this is the mid. Okay, and this is the that was the mid, and this is the bridge. Yeah, the bridge. I wish I was more of a country player and could. Now we're going to go to a more aggressive sound here. Let me see if I can. I hope it's not too much distortion. Like I say, I'm not used to this stuff, but try my best. This is the neck. normal. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a chance to get a guitar like this, I recommend it 100%. You're not going to be sorry you made the purchase. For the price, guys, it's almost a must that you go to a store and try one if you have one near you. It's amazing. It's a very sturdy guitar. Like I said, I don't think I mentioned that there's no gaps at all in the finish. See, no gaps at all between the neck and you know, it's a well put guitar. So you guys won't be you guys will not regret it if you get one of these. I'll talk to you later. You have a nice night.